Today, I am honored to introduce breast cancer survivor and thriver Elizabeth Martin. Elizabeth Martin is a 22-year breast cancer survivor and been an ACS volunteer and supporter for 20 years and counting. She excels in mission priorities, engages her company's philanthropy contributions on a nationwide level. She has made herself available for research to recovery patients and is dedicated to improving the quality of life for all cancer patients. Along with the help of her husband, Bruce, she has educated hundreds of families about the Body and Soul program. Through her leadership in Strides, Elizabeth has given television and newspaper interviews for the division and its paysetters. She is also a Relay for Life team captain and event spokesperson. Additionally, there's more. Elizabeth used her talents to promote CPS 3 and continues to perform her leadership skills in performing her duties as an area board member for the SoCal market. As a ACS CAN ambassador, Elizabeth effectively advocates at all levels of the government for policies that will enhance the lives of cancer patients. Because of her passion for the American Cancer Society's mission and inspirational spirit, Elizabeth was awarded the prestigious St. George National Award. This award is presented to an outstanding community of volunteers in recognition of their distinguished service in achieving the Society's strategic goals. Take it away, Elizabeth.
I think I'm done. You said everything, Michael.
Well, hello, Elizabeth.
Well, I just want to say congratulations, awardees, and to thank you for giving me the opportunity to continue my support for Strides. The intro told you about a little bit about me and what I do, so I want to tell you who I am. As we said earlier, I just retired from Union Bank after 42 years, longer than some of you have been alive. I understand that. They've mentioned Bruce. I'm married to the greatest guy in the world. Stacy, he says, hey, we've been married for 15 years. He's a retired Marine. He supports me in my life, period, but definitely in my fight against cancer. Together, we have 2 daughters, 7 grandkids, 3 great grandkids. And I never felt my life could be so happy and complete at this stage. Because in 1999, at the tender age of 41, I thought I was going to die, which is what brought me to the American Cancer Society. Because you see, on September 17th, 1999, 1:00 p.m., I got a call from my doctor because I had found a few lumps on my right breast about 8 months prior. I went to my OBGYN and he told me that my previous mammogram, which was my very first mammogram, was clear and they were most likely fibroids. He says, Black women have a lot of fibroids in their breasts, so don't worry about it. I followed his advice and I was busy. I didn't want to deal with it, and I am a Black woman. So I figured, okay, I won't worry about it. About 6 months later, they felt larger. So I went back and he says, well, you're at this part of your cycle, you're just retaining water. They just seem like they're bigger. Don't worry about it. So I was a little concerned, but I still didn't question it. So about a month later, I visited my internal physician and I told him about my experience with the OBGYN. He looked at me and he said, oh, we're gonna worry about it. So I went in for a biopsy and about 3 days later, on September 17, 1999 at 1 p.m., I got the call. I remember it was a Friday. And I heard the words, you have cancer. I was alone when I got the call. You know, I was lost. I just felt like I was falling in an abyss. Somehow time passed and my friend was by my side. I don't know how she got there. I'm assuming I called her and let her in, but all I remember is that she was by my side talking to my doctor. So I guess she had called him back or I called him back, but The next thing I remember is being on the phone with him, and he said, "You can't keep calling me. You have to stop calling me. You need to call the American Cancer Society." It took me a couple of days because I was just in a fog, and you know, I did the worst thing a person can do when they were recently diagnosed. I Googled cancer. Now, this was back in 1999. The internet was like the wild, wild west back then. Google was just launched the year before. So there was a lot of scary stuff out there from folks wanting you to buy their products. It was really scary. Take this pill and your cancer tumor will shrink, guaranteed. So you know that didn't work. So I called other organizations and was told someone would get back with me, or I received their voicemail. I felt alone and scared, and I needed answers to questions that were still unformed. I wanted to call my doctor back, and then I remembered he told me not to call him anymore. So I finally ended up calling the American Cancer Society, 1-800-ACS-2345. Someone answered because of strides and the funds that we raise, it's their 24/7 support line. There was someone on the phone, and they understood. They said everything I needed to hear. They knew what I was feeling, and I immediately felt connected. They said they would send me material to read, and they gave me questions to ask my oncologist. And no, by the way, I asked my oncologist so many questions. My poor oncologist, he finally told me, I do have other patients. So can we, hurry up and end this? I got the cancer.org website, the ACS website, that gave me facts backed by proof. They signed me up for REACH. They gave me hope. REACH to Recovery. I'm sure most of you are familiar with REACH. For newly diagnosed breast cancer survivors, they give you a volunteer buddy that tells you everything, and they try to match them to your demographics, your age, your diagnosis, marital status, kids, race. Mine took a couple of days because they were trying to find a Black volunteer to speak with me. And so I called back asking, are you going to get me a volunteer? And when they told me that, I said, I don't care, just get me a buddy. But I tabled that thought. We need more minority volunteers. So I went through my treatment. My buddy talked with me about her breast cancer diagnosis and her journey, and they're not there to give you medical advice. They're there to give you their experience. So for example, I was prescribed adriamycin cytoxin. I asked my oncologist if I'd lose my hair. So he gave me the safe answer saying, it's possible. It may thin. You may not lose your hair. Some patients don't lose their hair, but my buddy said, you're getting the red devil? Oh, your hair's coming out. And it's not just on your head, so be prepared. So that was a good learning experience. The 24/7 support line and Reach to Recovery were my intro to ACS. My buddy told me about Look Good, Feel Better. It's a free community-based service that helps women learn beauty techniques to restore their appearance due to the ravages of chemo and radiation treatment. But you guys got to remember, this was 1999, so YouTube didn't start till 2005, 2006. So we just couldn't go on YouTube. We were really searching for answers. So Look Good, Feel Better was an amazing service. So I went through a mastectomy. I had 2 rounds of chemo, and I wasn't alone. I had the American Cancer Society there to assist me along my journey. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a strong, extraordinarily strong support network, whether it be church, friends, family, but ACS knew what I needed. They gave me the tools to learn about my cancer, to become a participant and not an observer in my care, to ask questions instead of being satisfied with, don't worry about it. ACS changed my life. Instead of being upset and bitter, I received love and caring. I couldn't wait to get healthy enough to give back. It's funny, I had to wait until my treatments were over before I could volunteer. I was so scared, I thought there would not be a volunteer position available for me. How naive I was. It must have been the chemo brain. ACS changed my life by being able to counsel women, give them hope through reach, introduced me to cancer studies and trials. I was involved in the fatigue study. It was remarkably interesting. The first study I was ever involved in. They taught me how to fight for access to care, the discrepancies and inequity of care to minorities, the uninsured and the underinsured, which led me to start the Body and Soul program at my church. This program incorporates a healthy lifestyle with the church events, peer counseling, and it's proven to promote healthy food choices among participants. My husband and I led the ACS supported program to work with these faith-based organizations. We had specialists speak on cancer prevention, screenings, healthy lifestyle topics, prayer walks, gospel aerobics, weight loss challenges, and make it healthier potlucks, which was really good because people always think their recipe is the best. And these are recipes handed down from generations to generations. So I'd ask, why do you need heavy whipping cream and butter and shortening? Let's try milk. Let's try half the fat. Let's try to make it healthier. And they found it was healthier and it tastes the same. They introduced me to Relay for Life. And all of you know, I'm sure, what the mission of Relay for Life is: to raise funds and improve cancer survival. So I led teams in Southeast San Diego and Tierra Santa. We raised funds. We made sure we had someone on the track for 24 hours. But one of the reasons why I love ACS is they listen to volunteers and they make changes because they've changed that 24-hour model in some communities. Some communities, it's only 12, even 8 hours. I speak at Relay events in San Diego, Riverside, and Orange County to inspire. And I'm a legislative ambassador. Does anyone know or not know what a legislative ambassador is? Are you familiar with ACS CAN? American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, where we go and speak with our congressmen, our assembly people. We go to DC, we go to Sacramento. So they taught me how to fight big tobacco and how to fight for American Cancer Society supported bills. I am a Strides team leader, which is closest to my heart. As you know, those of you who know me, we're a family and we're deeply passionate about the work and strive to maintain our pace setter status. Now, I'm not on the same status as Stacy, but it's okay. She's giving me a goal. Even if I can get halfway there, I'll be happy. So for more than 2 decades, Strides has united communities. And because of Strides, as I said, they fund that 24/7 support line, the 800 number. They ensure that there's access to care for the uninsured and the underinsured by ensuring they have access to life-saving screenings. Because of my involvement with ACS, they helped me through my journey. And I learned more about leadership through ACS than any other area in my life. I learned how to counsel survivors in reach, how to lead teams in reach, and in Strides and Relay, how to meet with my legislative team to help pass bills, and how to ensure ACS's mission priorities are met by being a board member since I think 2010. Our mission statement, everyone should know this by heart. The American Cancer Society mission statement is: we are here to save lives, celebrate lives, and lead the world lead the fight for a world without cancer. And I'm supposed to know that by heart, and I kind of flubbed it, sorry. But that's our goal. You know, when I first became a volunteer, if you guys remember that, our mission statement was a paragraph long. I couldn't remember that. So we cleaned it up. Save lives, celebrate lives, and fight for a world without cancer. So we're here to inspire and get ideas, fundraising ideas from everyone, so we can continue raising money for the American Cancer Society. Because even though we did well in a COVID year, we just need to step up the fight in 2021. And I do understand that it was difficult because nonprofits probably took the brunt of it, because if you can't put food on your table, how are you going to donate? But I think we just need to be more creative. We need to work harder. I'm not one to ask people for money. I hate asking people for money. So even if you owe me money, don't ask me for money. But even if you owe me money, I'm embarrassed to ask for the money that you owe me. However, I'm glad you were talking about the fundraising application, because that app downloaded to your phone is amazing. You know, you can share your page via email, text, or LinkedIn, post to Facebook, Twitter, and I'm a boomer. I can do Facebook, but I cannot tweet. Well, I can retweet, but I can't tweet. And Instagram is like, oh God, that's something new. I still call hashtags #. So I need help with Twitter, but I got Facebook down. So after hearing about my involvement, I'm sure that inspires you to do even more, to recognize our VIPs and thank them for our support. And just remember our mission statement: save lives, celebrate lives, and lead the fight for a world without cancer. I want to thank you for listening. If anyone has any questions, oh my God, there's Jen Calker. I'm sorry, you guys, I haven't seen her in years.
Sorry, I'm late.
You left me, Jen. But if I just appreciate the time. Thank you for asking me to speak at this wonderful event. If anyone has any questions, I'm open for it. I do want to end with this, Michael Cox. I knew your name, and I was trying to figure out what your name was until they told me who you were. And we've exchanged emails. We were supposed to meet up to assist with fundraising or just getting the word out about American Cancer Society before COVID hit. So we just never connected. So hi.
Oh, hello. Yes, I still want you on our Behind the Business podcast. That's what we were supposed to do. It was like a lot going on. So definitely happy in making sure that we'll get that connection going.
That's okay. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, no.
So
Nice to
thank
meet
you,
you,
everyone.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for the story. Honestly, it's a pleasure to hear that, but it also shows what the ACS has done in the past and still continues that legacy of transparency, of making sure that information is there, is validated, and making sure that people are here to support you through the times of needs when all the other channels did not give you that love and support you needed. So I just want to say thank you for help, for shedding light on that. And when you told us that was in the 90s and it's 2021 and it's still doing the same exact quality of work.
Better.
So that is such an incredible story on how the funds we are raising are being put to work by the American Cancer Society. As of March 2020, we have raised over 5.5 million in investments in breast cancer research in California alone, and more than 69 million nationwide. In addition to our research dollars, our commitment to health equity includes a $50 million investment across the US. Our 24-hour hotline handled more than 1.42 million calls and live chats from residents in California last year, seeking support, information, and resources. All of this and so much more is only possible thanks to people like you here today. I do not know about you, but I'm ready to get started in my community. So please take a minute after the program to sign up to join the 2021 movement. Now,